Hi, this is video 1 for Chapter 5 Homework 3 Part 1 only. Let's zoom in, and this is what the side of your paper should look like, so make sure you're on that side. Now let's get right to it. It says write an inequality for the possible lengths of the third side. So that means we're going to use our formula for the third side. So if you have 3 sides of a triangle, side 2 minus side 1 will give you the smaller amount. Side 2 plus side 1 will give you the bigger amount. Now, make sure you write your name on your homework now while you're doing your homework. I get a lot of kids who try to write their name on their homework right before they turn it in, and then they forget. Okay, so now I have my formula, and so I can write the range of possible lengths for the third side if they give me the 2 sides. So here they've already given me side 1 and side 2, and they've left this number up to me. So it says write the inequality. That's what these symbols are called. So it looks like the first and the second side subtracted would give me 5, third side, and added would give me 11. So the third side should fit between 5 and 11. Next one. Okay, so it looks like the 2 sides, if I subtracted them, and then I have to add them. So some people write small, and they'd be comfortable right now. They're like, oh, yeah, I can write that small. Other people, you might want to go to another sheet of paper, which is totally okay. So I'm going to subtract the 2. And then I'm going to add the 2. Okay, and most of you guys know how to do these. So one more, I'm going to subtract the 2. And I'm going to add the 2. All right, first 3 done. Now these look a little interesting. You may or may not have seen these types of triangles before. So I'm going to jump down because this one's actually the same as the 3 we just did. It says write an inequality that indicates the possible values. So that's interesting. They did the same thing as the previous questions up here, but they've given me the 2 values on the picture. So to solve for the missing side, they've said make that x. Okay, I'm still just going to take the 2 sides and subtract, the 2 sides and add. So my 2 sides are 7.3 and 4.2. Okay, now I've written the triangle inequality theorem. Here, question number 3, I think I recognize this. It says order the sides least to greatest. So this is similar to my homework from last class. So the one thing I do need to figure out though is I can't really order the sides least to greatest unless I solve for these missing angles. And that's what they're asking here. It says please determine these angles. Angle DWK, WDK, and angle DKW. So I know from the triangle sum theorem that this angle, and I can call that x if I don't know it. I'm just going to fill in an x. X plus 31 plus 129 has to equal 180. Because this right here is a triangle. So because it's a triangle, just kind of ignoring this right now, those 3 numbers should add up to 180. So combining like terms, I get 160. So when I subtract 160, I get x is 20. So I'm actually going to change that x to a 20. So right now, I've solved one of the angles, and in a weird way, I kind of have to think of this in a slightly different way. This big triangle is also a triangle. So I'm just going to make a little sketch of it over here. I know this is 20. This big triangle, I made a little small version of it here. I don't know this one, so now I'm going to call that X. Not sure what that is. And then this big one should just be 31 plus 59, because both of those angles make up this big angle. So it's just angle, so 31 plus 59, that's angle addition. Ooh, interesting, 90. And it looks kind of like a 90-degree angle. So if I'm looking at this big triangle, 20 plus 70 would be 90. Some of us might not even write a formula out for this, but if you want to, you can. X is one angle, 20 is the other angle, 90 is the third angle. They have to add up to 180. Subtract 110 on both sides, I get 70. Okay, so now I know this is 70. Now I just have to determine, well, what are the names of these angles? So let's see what they're asking. DW, DWK, DWK. Well, it looks like DWK is 20. Okay, so I'll just write it like that. The measure of angle DWK is 20. What else? WDK. WDK, well, we solved for that. That was 90. So the big angle, WDK, is this whole angle right here, and that's 31 plus 59. And last but not least, they want to know angle DKW. DKW, that's this angle, that's 70. So they're kind of doing two things. They want to know if you can solve for the missing angle, but they're also testing you on whether or not you know how to read angles. Now we can finally do it. If we know the angle measurements, we can order the sides least to greatest. So I'm going to just pretend I'm just ordering the three outside. This is like our homework from last class. So this is 90. I'm just going to rewrite this for the sake of the problem now. That's 90, that's 20, that's 70. So if I have to order least to greatest, this should be the side that's the least, because it's opposite the smallest number. This is the least, DK. Okay, the next smallest number was 70. So we go over here. Whoops, my lights went off. Sorry about that. WD looks like it would be next biggest, because 70 is the next biggest number. And the biggest side would be my hypotenuse, opposite the 90. That's WK. So listing them in order least to greatest, like our worksheet in class. Least was DK, then WD, then WK. Ta-da! Check out the next video for some more solutions on the front of your homework.